hours, House Republicans are expected to formally reject a payroll tax cut compromise that their Republican colleagues over in the Senate had overwhelmingly backed. Our chief Washington correspondent Peter Cook is on the Hill with one of the House Republicans urging Speaker Boehner to play hardball with the Democrats. Peter?
Margaret, thanks very much. I'm joined here by Congressman Jack Kingston, the Republican from Georgia, who was among those House Republicans pushing the House Speaker to reject this Senate bill. Tell me what's wrong with this two-month compromise, if nothing else, gets you into the new year and keeps Americans from having this tax increase.
Well, Peter, we have been debating this really for several months now. There's no reason to have a Band-Aid. The American economy is too fragile right now. What it needs is certainty. I talked to lots of small businesses, and they say the uncertainty is what's keeping them from hiring people. This is a tax cut which is supposed to, according to the president's economic advisors, increase jobs, 600,000 to 1 million jobs. If that's the case, let's take it seriously and give the president what he wanted, a one-year extension.
What's to prevent you all from simply signing up for this for the moment, hold your nose and accept it for now, as Senator Reid has suggested, come back in January and negotiate a longer-term extension, which, as you said, is what the Democrats want as well?
Well, you know what? We passed a bipartisan bill. We had a lot of Democrat votes in the House. We feel strongly that the president was right when he said he wanted a one-year extension. Nancy Pelosi and Steny Hoyer have publicly said they want a one-year extension. Suddenly, the Senate goes out of town, votes on a two-month extension, then goes home for the Christmas holidays. That's not acceptable. We need to be in town taking this seriously. We can get this resolved this afternoon. And we're not saying our way or the highway. We're saying we need to sit down and hammer out some differences. We have a conference committee system, which has been the case for 200 years. We can get this done. It's not that hard.
Congressman, what about the politics of all this? You've heard the Democrats say, listen, we've got the upper hand here. Americans are going to blame the Republicans for standing in the way of again, this tax cut extension. How does this play out and without hurting Republicans?
Well, again, we had a bipartisan vote. We are on the side of the president, who wants a one-year agreement. We're on the side of small businesses and job creators who say a two-month extension creates too much uncertainty for it to be helpful for the economy. I think that case is going to sell to the American people. You get outside of Washington, where there's a lot of noise, a lot of pro-Obama, pro-Harry Reid distractions, and you talk to the American people and they're saying, what is the Senate thinking? A two-month extension, and then they go out of town? Why don't they sit down with you? Why don't they compromise? Why is Harry Reid saying my way or the highway when John Boehner is saying I'm willing to sit down and compromise?
There are some people out there, of course, a lot of folks on Wall Street watching this debate as well, the impact on the economy. Some people suggesting maybe House Republicans don't believe that this tax cut increase, one, is worthwhile to the economy right now, and that it'd be better for the long term to get rid of this tax cut. What's your own view on that?
You know, it's true that the Obama economic policies have failed miserably. We passed the stimulus program, or the Democrats passed it, when unemployment was less than 8%. It shot up to nearly 10%. His economic policies have been an abysmal failure. We need to have bigger economic thought process. We need tax simplification. We need to drill our own oil. We need to have less regulation and things that help job creators go out and create jobs. I challenge the Senate, while they're out of Washington, to actually go home and talk to people who hire and fire, people who are involved with small businesses, and they'll tell you a two-month extension doesn't help them whatsoever.
Final question for you. Let me ask you. House Speaker John Boehner, again, taking some shots on this, a controversial move here. What's his standing right now within the House Republican Conference? Everyone behind him?
Everybody's behind him, but keep in mind, John Boehner is in town. He's across the street. He is working. Where's Harry Reid right now? Where's Chuck Schumer? Where are the Democrats? The president we know is dying to get out of town, too. John Boehner is the only national leader who's in town saying, let's work this out. Let's get a deal done. The economy is too fragile right now to play games.
And for those who suggest that John Boehner was for this deal before, that he had signed off on this Senate package only to hear from people like you and then change his mind, what's the reality?
You know, I've heard a lot of people say that, but none of them were in the room with John Boehner. I was in the room with John Boehner. He did not like it because he believes it's bad policy. Again, taking the president for his own word that we need a one-year extension and that will create jobs. Why aren't we doing this? And where is the president of the United States right now? John Boehner is in town. We're ready to work. There's no reason to go home until this is finalized.
I know you got to run for a procedural vote. Just finally, you expect a deal that you can support before January 1st, before this tax cut is wiped off the books?
Peter, I've been in Washington 19 years. I've seen bigger deals done with shorter periods of time. This is not that big of an issue. We can get this done on a scale of 1 to 10. This is a 4. The American people want it. The President of the United States wants it 1 year. Republicans want it 1 year on bipartisan basis. The House wants it. We can get this done. It's not that big of an issue. It's not insurmountable.
Congressman Kingston, know you got to get to the floor for that vote. We appreciate your time very much. We'll be following, of course, the debate today.
Thanks.
Margaret, we'll send it back to you.